Dividing Fractions, Part 5. In today's lesson, students will learn how to divide fractions by multiplying by the reciprocal. By doing what? Multiplying by the reciprocal. Very good. Go over the steps for dividing fractions. So you're going to go ahead and write, when dividing fractions. Okay, first you're going to rewrite the first fraction. Okay, you're going to rewrite it. And if it's a whole number, you want to write it as a fraction. Okay, so for example, if you're doing 3 divided by 1/3, you would rewrite this as 3, and how do you make 3 a fraction? 3 divided by what? You can make any number a fraction by putting 1 underneath it, okay? 3 over 1 is the same as 3, so you rewrite it, okay? Step 1, yes? Step 2. Step 2 is you're going to flip or take the reciprocal of the second fraction. Okay, so when I say reciprocal, you're going to say reciprocal. Say reciprocal! When the bottom becomes the top and the top becomes the bottom. Okay, that's known as flipping the fraction. So, okay, look then at this fraction 1/3. 1/3. How do you flip it? How do you flip it? Flip it where the top becomes the bottom becomes the top. It becomes what? It becomes 3 over 1, right? Okay. So you flip it, and then you change the division into multiplication. So the next step, step 3, would be to multiply the numerators, which are the top numbers. And when you're multiplying fractions, you multiply the top, and then you multiply the what? The bottom. The bottom numbers are called the denominators. Okay? And of course, the last step, if you can, I don't know if you'll be able to in these, you will simplify or divide the top and the bottom number by the same factor. Okay? I don't think you'll be able to simplify today, but you will be able to simplify tomorrow. Okay? So get that down really quick. Okay. So let me just show you a quick little visual to get the answer. Okay. So now, 3 divided by 1/2 is asking the question. Read it with me. It says, how many thirds are there in 3? How many thirds are there in 3? All right. Well, I have 3 holes, okay? Remember, a hole is an entire rectangle, right? We have 1, we have 2, and let me move this down a little bit. Okay, we have 3. Are we good? 1, 2, 3, there's 3. Well, how many thirds are there in 3? Here's 3. 1, 2, 3. How many thirds? Which means if I cut each one in third, how many thirds will I have altogether? Okay, that's what division asks you. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to cut this one in thirds. I'm going to cut this one in thirds. And I'm going to cut this one in thirds. Boom. So we have 3. We cut it in thirds. Let's see if you can see. I'm going to go real close here. Okay. So, how many thirds can you count all together? Okay, count the pieces of thirds. Count with me, go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so then how many thirds are there in 3? There are what? How many thirds? There are 9. There are 9 thirds, right? 9 pieces of thirds. And that is why you have to, when you divide fractions, you're actually just going to flip the second fraction and multiply across. 3 times 3 is 9. And if you want to write 9 over 1, you can. But 9 over 1 is the same as 9. Go ahead and get that down. Okay, so we're going to do some quick examples. The first example says 5 divided by 1/6. This is asking how many sixths are there in 5? So let's do the visual first. Do I have 5 holes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes? I'm going to cut this hole into how many? I'm going to cut it into sixths. So each of the holes will have 6 parts. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to cut it into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each part is a sixth. Sixths. Cut this into sixths. Sixths. And sixths. All right. So how many sixths are there in 5? Well, if each one has 6, instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what could I do? Okay, because it's repeated addition. I'm going to count 6. How many times? I'm going to count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. See how it works? Okay, so I just said you have to multiply, right? Yeah, you do have to multiply. So there's kind of, I condensed this into 3 steps because you won't be simplifying. So the first step is to rewrite the first fraction. You're going to rewrite the first number, which is a 5, okay? So you can just rewrite it as 5. Or how do you make that a fraction? You put it 5, what do you put under it? 5 over 1. That's the same, okay? Because 5 divided by 1 is 5. Then it says flip. You're actually going to flip the second fraction. Okay, so the fraction we're working with here is 1/6. So you're going to flip 1/6. How do you flip it? What does it become? What goes up here? What goes up here if you flip it? See, say reciprocal. The bottom becomes the top and the top becomes the bottom. Okay, so if the bottom becomes the top, this is going to make it 6, and then the top becomes the bottom. 1. And then what are you supposed to do? When you're dividing, you're actually doing what? You're doing the opposite, okay? It's confusing, right? You actually have to multiply, okay? So, multiply by the reciprocal, right? Flip it and multiply. Then you can multiply across. So you multiply across, what is 5 times 6? Multiply the numerators. It is, what's 5 times 6? It's 30. Okay? And 1 times 1 is 1. So you can write it as 30 over 1, or the answer is simply 30. It's saying there are 30 sixths. If you count up all the sixths, there are 30 sixths in 5. Okay, go ahead and write that down. Okay, read the last example with me. It says 6 divided by 1/4. This is asking, repeat after me, how many fourths are in 6? Repeat, how many fourths are in 6. So I have 6 holes that I'm going to cut into fourths to see how many fourths, okay, are all together. So I cut each of the holes into fourths. I have 6 holes. All right. Alrighty. So if we were to count up all the fourths, instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like I know you're going to because that's what you do. Okay, hello, look, I have 4, right? So could I skip count by just 4? Could I skip count 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24? Yes, I can, because this is really just asking you to skip count by 4 6 times. The way to solve this is there's 3 simple steps. The first thing is you're going to rewrite the 6 as a fraction. So you write 6, and how do you make 6 a fraction? What do you put under it? You put a 1. Very good. All right, now flip the second fraction. The second fraction, okay, is 1/4. So if you flip it where the bottom becomes the top and the top becomes the bottom, what's your new fraction here? I'll just wait. What is it? Come on, people. Isn't it 4 over 1. Didn't they just switch places? Yes. And what do you have to do to these fractions? Although it is a division problem, division actually asks you to multiply. It asks you to multiply. So when you multiply across, you're going to get 6 times 4 is 24. Isn't that what we said it was? And then 1 times 1 is 1. Okay? So the answer is going to be 24. You don't have to write 1, okay? But the answer is 24.